And now the finale of Daryl Dixon Season 3 is coming up this week, and in today's video I'm just going to be discussing about some Easter eggs that were in this show and how it could signal Rick Grimes' return in the finale of this season and potentially in Season 4, so please stay tuned. And now, before we actually get into the video, I'd like to ask you all to like, share, and subscribe. And again, thank you guys so much for the growth. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate it. And I'd like to ask you all to like this video as much as you guys can. It helps a ton. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. And now, I didn't want to make a video on this topic at first, but now thinking about it and just seeing the promo for the season finale of Daryl Dixon, it seems like that this theory might actually have some merit to it. And now in episode 3 of Daryl Dixon, Daryl and Roberto, they go to a shrine, right? They go to a statue, and you know, just to remember the fallen and their loved ones and such as that. And then if you look very closely in that scene, we see a jacket with PPP written on it. And now of course we've seen PPP before in season 6 of The Walking Dead during Heath's last episode, right? The only thing that was left after Heath left was the PPP card, and a lot of people, they were coming up with theories and speculation that Heath is part of the CRM, right? Like, you know, the CRM took him, or Jadis traded him off, and they left that PPP card. And also during Tales of the Walking Dead, we did see PPP, right? We saw the card in Tales of the Walking Dead as well, and also in The Ones Who Live. Now in episode 6 of The Ones Who Live, there's actually a PPP Easter egg in there that a lot of people did not catch on to, and it was on the board in Beale's office, and it says PPP exception. And now, like, of course, now we know that the PPP, right, like those cards and such as that, are actually related to the CRM. A lot of people were saying that it was a different faction, something completely unrelated to the CRM. But after The Ones Who Live, we got a confirmation that it is related to the CRM, and seeing them in Spain, it really does raise some questions. And what it looks like a consignee jacket, right? It looks like a consignee jacket with PPP written on it. And from what I could understand from the board in Beale's office, he is written right under reclamation, and reclamation basically means that to make a land better, or to cultivate a land that has been under waste or hasn't been under civilization for quite some time. And we could just put like some sort of twist onto this, because PPP has shown up in populated places. So like, from what I could understand, the PPP card is left after somebody is kidnapped, and this could potentially indicate a CRM agent being within that area. And as we know, the Echelon Protocol and everything that Beale has revealed in the finale of The Ones Who Live, he did reveal that yes, there are CRM agents in communities around the world, and it is not so far of a stretch to think that, yeah, you know, like there could be a CRM agent in Spain as well. And I think that this is what it means, right? We possibly had the CRM coming to Spain and dropping off an agent, or taking somebody from Spain and basically replacing them with an agent or somebody like from the CRM being there, and that's where they left that PPP jacket, right? Basically as proof that, yeah, you know, the CRM is here and we're basically going to work towards a better civilization for the CRM, right? And that's where reclamation comes in, and that's where PPP comes in. And now PPP, like the actual real world definition of that, right, is priority placement program. And now I had to do some research into this, right, because I don't know much about PPP in real life, right? I've just been seeing it in The Walking Dead, and just very recently I found out that, yeah, you know, it's a real program in real life. And if they're really taking inspiration from real world programs, it would mean that it basically gives military personnel's priority over other applications. So again, like how I said before, if you put your own twist on it, right, you see a vacant area, right? You see an area that has not been cultivated by the CRM yet. And of course we see that the CRM keep secret above all, right? You know, they don't speak a word about the CRM. So if there are undercover agents from the CRM that want to basically leave their mark that, yeah, you know, the CRM was here, the CRM knows about this place, and the CRM took something from this place, you would leave a PPP card, right? You would leave a card that basically represents that, yeah, you know, we have cultivized or we have gotten a vacant area. I think that that is what PPP would mean, right? I'm not sure what the other theorizers say, like the other Walking Dead theory channels, what do they say about this? But this is my own take about this, and I think that this PPP jacket being in Spain, and of course on that shrine or that statue, it would mean that somebody very important to the CRM or somebody very important with that CRM jacket got taken by the CRM from Spain, and they were taken back to America at the main CRM base, or they already have a CRM base somewhere there, and that PPP jacket is left there to leave their mark that, yeah, I know the CRM is here, the CRM knows about this place, and the CRM is going to make it better. And now, why do I think that this is going to play a huge role in Daryl Dixon Season 3? And of course, before I get into the actual theory, I wanted to make it clear that I'm not holding out any hope for this, right? Now, the Walking Dead universe has done a lot of things that are open-ended, and they've been teasing a lot of things that really have no payoff whatsoever. So, you know, I'm just going to give a discretion right there that, you know, I have little to no hope that they're really going to do anything with this, but it was confirmed in The Ones Who Live that the PPP is related to the CRM. So them placing it there deliberately and quite literally panning the camera over it, I think that maybe there is some hope that we could get some sort of CRM connection to this, and this could be related to Rick Grimes. And as we know, at the end of The Ones Who Live, Rick basically made the CRM better, and they went back home to the Commonwealth, right? Long story short. And then in Daryl Dixon Season 3, we get a tease from Carol that my friend's brother lived in Barcelona before all of this, right? So which is genuinely an Easter egg to Jeffrey Grimes. Now, of course, at first when I heard that line, I was going to make a video about it, but then I kind of held back because I just thought that maybe Carol is possibly talking about somebody else, because usually whenever they drop teases like this or Easter eggs like this, it's just that. It's a tease or it's just an Easter egg and they don't have anything to do with it. But with this PPP jacket, and also in the promo for the finale where Daryl said that, why did I come here? Why did I even leave home? And on top of that, with Carol's whole mentioning a friend's brother that lived in Barcelona before, it is possible that they could do something with Jeffrey Grimes, aka Rick Grimes' brother. And it's very well possible that with, of course, Jeffrey being in Spain in the comic books, right? And also him specifically being in Barcelona, this PPP jacket being in Spain, again, it's possible that Jeffrey Grimes could be a part of the CRM, or he was taken by the CRM. Now that would be very cool, right? Now, if they paid this Easter egg off and they made it so that, yeah, you know, Jeffrey Grimes has some sort of relation to the CRM, I think that would be incredible, and it would give some room for them to finally talk about Rick Grimes, to finally have a family member of Rick Grimes uniting with Daryl, and them talking about Rick, that, yeah, you know, Rick, he went off, we don't know where he went. And then we see that Daryl learns about the CRM from Jeffrey Grimes. And it would also be cool that, what if Jeffrey Grimes is a CRM soldier that was deployed back to Spain because he had familiarity with Barcelona, he had some familiarity with Spain. So then Major General Beale, he gave him the Echelon Protocol, he told him every little secret about the military, and then he sent him back to Spain. Now, again, you may be thinking that why didn't Major General Beale mention Jeffrey Grimes, right? Of course, Rick Grimes, Jeffrey Grimes, he would make the correlation that what if these two are related? And of course, them being brothers, they would have some facial similarities. And you could just chalk that up to they did not know what to do with that PPP card, right? And it's just that simple. I think that this Easter egg was very last second, and they just added it in there, and they thought about, yeah, you know, Carol already mentioned that you know, a brother of my friend's, he used to live in Barcelona before. And now, of course, they would not know if he's still in Barcelona or if he's dead or if he went back to America, right? She only said that a friend of mine's brother lived in Barcelona before, so it's very well possible that he's still in Barcelona, and we could potentially get Jeffrey Grimes in the finale of Daryl Dixon season 3, and maybe he might have some CRM connections that could possibly lead into season 4 of Daryl Dixon to get them back home. And it'd be so cool that, you know, if we have Jeffrey Grimes, if we have Daryl, and if we have Carol going back home to America on that boat, and the very final scene of Daryl Dixon season 4 is Rick reuniting with Daryl, Carol, and also Jeffrey. But I don't think that this story is for nothing, right? The past 3 seasons of Daryl Dixon and also season 4, I don't think that that's for nothing. I don't think they just placed Daryl in Europe for no reason. I think that their plan from the start was possibly Jeffrey Grimes, right? And to finally have that connection in there, and also with the ones who live basically teasing that there are CRM bases around the world. It is very well possible that the CRM is still up and running under Beale's protocols and all of that. So if you really want it to come full circle, if you really want Rick to finally be back into the story, back to, you know, having a major play, and also Daryl remembering his reason to come to Europe, right? Like, why did he even leave home in the first place? What is he doing here? I think that to make the story back to Rick Grimes, to make it conclude completely from season 11, the finale of season 11, I think the perfect way to do that is to finally pay off this PvP Easter egg, and also my friend's brother's living in Barcelona, or he lived in Barcelona, to pay that off, and also just to pay Rick's whole journey off, and also Daryl's whole journey off. I think that you place Jeffrey Grimes in there, and you finally have the story revolve around Rick and Daryl looking for Rick again. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I'd like to ask you all to like, share, and subscribe. And again, thank you guys so much for the growth. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really, really appreciate it. And I'd like to ask you all to like this video as much as you guys can. It helps a ton. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching.